All right, what's up and welcome in. You're watching NFL Daily here on Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you. Hope all of you are having a fantastic start to your week. Coming your way on today's show, going to take a look at the AFC Playoff Picture, clinching scenarios and odds heading into Week 17. But first, want to say thank you to Rhone for making today's show possible. I'm wearing their commuter dress shirt right now. We'll tell you more about the commuter collection coming up. 20% off for our audience if you use the code ChatSports at Rhone.com/ChatSports. These dress shirts really are unbelievable. They've redefined how we think and envision dress shirts with their flexible, breathable, high-quality material. Once again, we'll tell you more about Rhone here in just a few minutes. So you take a look at the AFC playoff picture with 2 weeks left to go here in the regular season. Buffalo Bills in that number one spot because they own the tiebreaker by beating the Kansas City Chiefs earlier this season. Both of those teams with a 12-3 record, but Buffalo atop the AFC. The Buffalo Bills really in a good position here to maybe lock up that top seed, and then the Kansas City Chiefs playing excellent football as well. A team that I think a lot of people are sleeping on is the Cincinnati Bengals, the defending AFC champions. They've won 7 games in a row, 11-4, and as we're about to show you, they still have an opportunity to get the number one seed in the AFC. Jacksonville Jaguars have been playing great football under Doug Peterson over the last month and a half, 2 months, led by Trevor Lawrence, 7-8. And if they win their final game against the Tennessee Titans, they win the AFC South. Then rounding things out in the wild card race, it's the Baltimore Ravens at 10-5, clinched a playoff spot. The Los Angeles Chargers clinch a playoff spot with their win on Monday Night Football against the hapless Indianapolis Colts. And yes, the Dolphins lost all of their games in December, but still in the race right now, opportunity to really control their own destiny at 8-7, and then teams in the hunt with an opportunity to sneak in. New England Patriots, New York Jets, Tennessee Titans, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Las Vegas Raiders with less than a 1% chance to make the big dance. Shifting gears to the NFC playoff picture, and we did put out our NFC playoff picture video on Monday. Check that out if you haven't already done so. It's popping off right now. Philadelphia Eagles 13-2, number one seed in the NFC, even after they lost to the Dallas Cowboys. The magic number for them to lock up the division and the top spot is 1. Minnesota Vikings in that second seed, 12-3. San Francisco 49ers have won 8 games in a row, 11-4, winners of the NFC West. Things are starting to get pretty interesting in the NFC South. It's an awful division as of right now. The Bucs 7-8 leaders there. Dallas Cowboys have an opportunity to still maybe get that 1 seed and win the NFC East. If the Eagles fall apart here and they continue to stay hot, Giants and Commanders in that 6-7 spot in the hunt, still with an opportunity here. Seattle Seahawks, Detroit Lions, the streaking Green Bay Packers, Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints. They could get in if they win the NFC South. Before we continue to break things down, make sure you subscribe to us here at Chat Sports. Another reminder, our NFC playoff picture video was released on Monday. We give you year-round daily content on the National Football League, so lock us in by hitting that subscribe button down below. With the Buffalo Bills, Week 17, they'll be on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals. That could go a long way in determining the top seed, in the AFC. If the Bills win against the Cincinnati Bengals, 86% chance of getting that top spot. They do have the tiebreaker over the Chiefs. That's very important to note here. Speaking of KC, Patrick Mahomes has been balling, maybe the leader to win NFL MVP. Week 17, they host the Denver Broncos, who are a mess. They just fired Nathaniel Hackett. 60% chance that KC will host a wild card game if they beat the Denver Broncos. Obviously, they locked up the AFC West, so they probably will host that playoff game. If the Chiefs lose to Denver, 97% chance they host that wild card game. So basically, a shoe-in to be at home at Arrowhead Stadium in the first round of the playoffs. For the Cincinnati Bengals, Week 17, it's a big game as we just got done talking about. They're hosting the Buffalo Bills. If Cincinnati, last 2 weeks, beats the Bills as well as the Ravens, they have a 60% chance to get that number one seed in the AFC. They have won 7 straight games, led by Joe Burrow, who I think is a sneaky candidate to potentially win most valuable player. And over his last 7 games, he's really been pacing Cincinnati. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. I've said on air, I might take him over Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Sounds crazy, but I just love how he operates at that quarterback spot, and he just has that moxie and that swagger, accuracy, and touch. He has it all. 69% completion percentage over his last 7 during this winning streak. He's thrown for nearly 2,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, a quarterback rating of 102.6. Let me ask you this question. I do want to field all of your responses down in the comment section. The most feared team in the AFC of these 3, because I think these are the top 3 leaders here, not just by seeding. Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, Cincinnati Bengals. Let us know down below in the comment section. To those streaking Jacksonville Jaguars, Week 17 on the road against the Houston Texans, that game really doesn't matter for Jacksonville. And then the Week 17 game for Tennessee against Dallas doesn't matter. Why is that? It all comes down to the final week of the regular season. The winner of Titans-Jags wins the AFC South. And for Jacksonville, a 55% chance to get into the playoffs. And how about those Jaguars? 4-2 over their last 6 games. They haven't made the playoffs since the 2017 season when they made that surprise run to the AFC Championship game against the New England Patriots. The Patriots went on to make it to Super Bowl 52, of course, by winning that game and lost to Nick Foles and the Philadelphia Eagles. Dougie P, I think, should win Coach of the Year. It's him and Brian Daboll, in my opinion, because both of those coaches have maximized their rosters, and they've had this miraculous turnaround from 2021 to 2022. It doesn't always have to go, Coach of the Year, to the team with the best record like a Nick Sirianni. How about the coach that has to do the most? And in my opinion, it's been Doug Peterson, because the Urban Meyer disaster was that, a disaster in 2021. So can the Jags win a playoff game? I think they can. As of right now, it could be Jags-Baltimore Ravens in the first round of the playoffs. Give me a Y for yes and N for no. I think this team should be taken seriously. They have potentially the better quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, against Lamar Jackson. If he's banged up, let us know down below in the comment section. As I mentioned off the top of the show, NFL Daily is presented by Rhone. 20% off your entire order if you head to Rhone.com/chatsports. Now, I'm wearing their commuter dress shirt, but let's tell you about the commuter collection here, because if you want to spike up your wardrobe, you can do so with Rhone. Men's closets were due for a radical reinvention. Rhone stepped up to the challenge, knocked it out of the park like Bryce Harper. Rhone's commuter collection, the most comfortable, breathable, flexible shirt known to man, and here's why. Products for every occasion. Rhone helps you get ready for any occasion with the commuter collection, which offers the world's most comfortable pants on top of dress shirts, quarter zips, as well as golf polos. You never have to worry about what to wear when you have the Rhone commuter collection. Mobility for me is everything, because I like being comfortable but also looking sophisticated. Rhone allows me to do that with their comfortable 4-way stretch fabric that provides breathability and flexibility, where you could go from work to 18 holes of golf. Looking good is easy, and it's time to feel confident without the hassle. Wrinkle release technology, machine washable dress shirts, and you can go right from work to a night out with the homies, or from the golf course right to work. Use the promo code CHATSPORTS to save 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off, folks, your entire order when you head to RHONE.com/chatsports and use the code CHATSPORTS. It's time to find your corner office comfort with Rhone. So one more time, head to Rhone.com/chatsports. Promo code CHATSPORTS to save 20% off your entire order. I have fallen in love with these dress shirts over the last several months. To the Baltimore Ravens right now, as we take a look at some of these teams who are in the wild card hunt. For Baltimore, Week 17 against the Steelers, Week 18 against the Bengals. That AFC North rivalry game with Pittsburgh is never going to be easy, especially given the dramatics of Pittsburgh taking down the Las Vegas Raiders the other night. And then against the Bengals, that game is going to be massive. 99% chance to host a wild card game if Baltimore wins out. But if Baltimore loses to the Steelers and beats the Bengals, a 47% chance to host a wild card game. And for Lamar Jackson, his status going into Week 17, unknown. He has not played since Week 13 because of a knee injury, and we'll see. John Harbaugh basically said, We're not sure if he's going to play or not. If he doesn't, it'll be Tyler Huntley, who somehow was voted to be a Pro Bowl alternate despite only playing a couple of games this year. Big performance for the Los Angeles Chargers on Monday Night Football. They took down Nick Foles, who looks completely washed, and the Indianapolis Colts, who couldn't matriculate down the field, and they're just awful. A massive change, I think, coming this offseason throughout that entire organization. But because the Chargers took down the Indianapolis Colts, they clinch a playoff spot for the first time in a couple of seasons. Week 17 against the Rams, Week 18 against the Broncos. They could win out and get to 11 wins, which will save Brandon Staley and be a good look for Justin Herbert as well. And Los Angeles will go on the road for a wild card matchup. I said a little bit earlier about the Kansas City Chiefs. We put these through these mock scenarios, right? Because the Chiefs did win the AFC West, they're going to host a playoff game. I'm not sure why our simulations had given them a chance to go on the road. Current seed here for the Chargers is number 6. Now, if these two teams were to meet up in the playoffs, Ravens, Chargers, who would you go with here in this particular matchup? Type R for Ravens, C for the Chargers. Let us know. I think it all comes down to the health of Lamar Jackson. Miami Dolphins, they have lost all 4 of their games in December. They're reeling. The San Francisco 49ers broke them. And Tua Tagovailoa, for the 3rd time this year in concussion protocol, he might get benched the rest of the year just because of his health. But there is still an opportunity, even though the Dolphins are free-falling, for Miami to get into the playoffs, and they control their own fate. It starts with the road game against New England Patriots, and it looks as though Teddy Bridgewater is going to get the start if Tua cannot go. So latest on Miami here. If Miami beats the Pats and they lose to the Jets, 49% chance to make it to the playoffs. If they lose to the Pats and they beat the Jets, 69%. If they win out, it's basically a 99% chance for Miami to get in, and they will get in pretty much if they win out the remaining games. There will have to be some crazy things that transpire for the Dolphins to not get into the postseason in year 1 under Mike McDaniel. Teams on the bubble here. A lot of 7-8s. Patriots 7-8. Jets 7-8. Titans 7-8. Steelers 7-8. Among these teams that have an opportunity to make it into the playoffs, Titans, Jets, and Patriots basically with the best odds here. Start off with the Pats. Mac Jones, he's a dirty player, tripping cats, but can they trip into the playoffs? Yes, they technically can. If New England wins out, the Pats are in. They beat the Dolphins, lose to the Bills, 9% chance. So basically, they have to win out to get into the big dance. For the New York Jets, Week 17, after Mike White got activated, he is going to be eligible to play this week. Week 17 at Seattle, Week 18 at Miami. If the Jets win out, and they haven't played good football because of quarterback problems, Zach Wilson ain't it, then they have a 94% chance to make the playoffs. If they split, less than a 1% chance. So for Jets fans out there, you win out, great opportunity to get in the NFL postseason. For Pittsburgh, a lot of scenarios here at play, and it's going to be an uphill battle regardless. Even if the Steelers win out against the Ravens and the Cleveland Browns, 8% chance for Pittsburgh to make it into the playoffs. And for the Raiders, basically everything has to go their way. Every team in the hunt, and even teams in the playoffs, have to collapse and lose out, and the Raiders have to win out. They're 6-9, not nice. Less than 1% chance to make the playoffs for the Las Vegas Raiders, and it is not out of the question for Derek Carr to maybe get benched going into a New Year's Day matchup against the red-hot San Francisco 49ers. So with that, appreciate all of you for tuning into the show. Our last question for you, because we love your football intellect, show it off down below in the comment section. What is your Super Bowl matchup? Right now, I might go San Francisco 49ers, Cincinnati Bengals. You let me know down below in the comment section. And as always, thanks for your support of NFL Daily.